Not Your Average Radio, Big Homie Monski, MixBosses.com. I got a special guest in the house, man. Hey, special guest. Let them know who it is, man.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good, everybody? It's your boy P.Fly. How's everything going, y'all? What's up, man?
All right, cool. Hey, everything's going amazing. I hope everybody's, thinking the same thing, man. So it's finally good to have you on Not Your Average Radio. We've been cool for a minute, and it's finally good to have you on, man. So I do appreciate you jumping on to the interview.
For real. Thanks for having me, man. It's an honor, for real. Pleasure.
Don't tell me, tell me that at the end, because you might not like it. Don't tell me that right now. You're like, it's a pleasure. And then I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I don't like your music. You suck. And you're going to be like, wait a minute. Nah, I'm bullshit. I bullshitted.
I mean, I haven't heard that yet, so.
I know, I'm just bullshit. Him and I are cool. Like I said, we've seen each other a couple shows and stuff like that, and he knows that I love his music, man. So he knows I'm just bullshitting. Again,
thank you, appreciate it.
Of course, brother, of course. All right, real quick, let's start it off. I like to always, like I told the homie right now, I always like to talk about how we met. Like there's so many people that I've come across in different places. The way I came across the homie P.Fly is when I used to do the rap contest. He was one of the contestants. He did very well at the rap contest, you know what I mean? So I had to go up to him, say, yo, man, it was, a pleasure like hearing you do your thing. And we exchanged your contact information, all that good stuff. And little did I know, like I started fucking with Young Baka Productions, and I started booking artists for Young Baka. And so I was like, oh shit, I saw that P.Fly was on Labeled. And I was like, P.Fly, well, that's the homie from the rap contest. So I hit up Baka. I was like, Baka. I was like, he followed me. So, like I should get credit for him to be on Labeled because he heard about Young Baka because of my promotion. I promote Young Baka Productions, and he was like, hell no. He's like, that's the homie's friend from work and this and this and that. I'm like, what? I was like, no. So at Unlabeled, we pulled the homie P.Fly to the side, and me and Baka were like, all right, how do you know Baka? How do you know me? And how did you get on this stage? And yeah, sure enough, Baka was right. But hey, either way, it was dope to have you.
Thank you. Put me on the spot there. I was like, oh, shit.
And we did put him on the spot, because I told him, I'm like, hey, P.Fly, no pressure, but, and like me and Baka were just like standing there, like staring at him, like, what is he gonna say?
And honestly, I ended up hearing about the show through my boy Bobby at work, and he knew Baka. I guess he knew him for a minute. They used to play, like, he used to play baseball or something like that. But I met you when we were at the rap contest. It was like one of my first shows I did when I first moved out here to LA. I don't know how many people know, but I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I recently moved out to LA in August just to work on what I want to accomplish, and obviously, that's the music. He was one of the first people that, showed me some love when we were out there, and like, we did the show, and it was just crazy. It was crazy love, and even though I didn't win the rap contest, but, I thought I should have, but it was all good though, but we ended up having fun. I ended up meeting a bunch of great people, and, that's how me and him connected, and, it was the start of a great friendship, so.
That's what's up, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. What's that?
I mean, that's exciting. I mean, anytime you can, go somewhere and not know anybody in the crowd, and, you perform, you do your set, and you end up leaving with a few new friends, a few new fans of the music. I mean, that's an amazing feeling, and that's part of the reason why I know that, moving out here was a good decision.
That's dope. I didn't even know that. I like doing these interviews because I get to know a little bit more about the homies. So you moved to LA to pursue your music. That's the only reason you moved to LA.
It wasn't really the only reason. I like the weather too, so that was part of the reason as well.
Well, you know what I mean. Like it wasn't work related. Like you didn't transfer from your job from over there to over here, or.
Oh no, we just pretty much always wanted to be out here. I knew that this would be a good area to focus. People I really know. When I first moved out here, I moved out here with my girlfriend, and I was like the only person I knew out here. And just like having her here with me, just focusing on what I needed to do, I knew it would be the best place to get away from everything and just be focused and hammer everything out. And I mean, I've been seeing just, some noticeable changes in what's been going on with my career, and we just hope to keep everything pushing forward for the rest of the year and throughout the next year, and et cetera, et cetera.
That's dope. See, that's why I love doing these interviews. I don't even know this stuff. This is dope. And you happen to get a job with someone that knows Young Baka. So, you know, like, how did, like, when you found out, like,
I
oh,
mean,
I got my boy, you know what I mean? Like, how did that go?
Usually when I work and stuff like that, I don't really, like to get into my personal life and what I do outside of work to too many people. And what ended up happening was one of my coworkers ended up being a producer. So me and him ended up, clicking just because, he produced music. I'm a rapper, so that natural connection was there. And he played me some of his stuff one day because I heard that he had did some music, like just, walking past him. I was like, yo, play me something. He played me something. I thought it was dope. And then I told him that I did music because, I couldn't, continue to hide the fact that I did music once I heard something that was pretty dope. So I played him my stuff. And then we just ended up clicking. And then that's when the dude that met Bakaru ended up walking past both of us. And he ended up hearing that. And he was like, well, I know Baka. And, he does shows all the time and stuff like that. And I'm going to send him some of your music. But the funny thing about that was because I never ended up, Bobby's the name of the dude. Bobby never ended up hearing back from Baka. And then I reached out to Baka myself after I found him like on Facebook or something like that. And then Baka didn't even know he added me on Facebook until we met in person. And he told me message me on Facebook, send me your email. And I hit him up and he was like, how long have we been friends on Facebook? I said, we've been friends on Facebook for like 6 months or almost like 5 or 6 months before I met him in person.
That's crazy. This is dope, man. I love doing interviews, man. Yes, I host this, but I just love hearing the stories, man, because everybody comes from different backgrounds and they all come together at the end of the day for the same passion, which is the music. You know what I mean? So that's dope as fuck, man. That's good. Thank you for taking time. Thank you for taking time to
everything.
Thank you for taking time to tell us your story. This is dope, man. This is really dope.
I'm just glad somebody wants to listen to it.
I'm telling you, I'm enjoying it. I'm sure the listeners are enjoying it too, but if not, I'm enjoying it for real. So, put it this way, we still got all our listeners listening in. They haven't logged off, so we're doing good. So, okay, so let's talk about, we talked about how you came to LA, how you met Baka, how you met myself, which is really crazy. But anyways, how did you get started in music? So back in Brooklyn, what made P.Fly get into music? What made you want to be a rapper?
Growing up, my dad was into jazz. He used to go every year up to Saratoga, New York, for like the jazz festival they had every year. He used to go with his buddies from college. So I was always around that jazz and stuff like that. If you know like your history and stuff, pretty much hip hop and jazz and all types of ethnic music, they kind of go hand in hand. So I was always actually around that kind of music stuff. And I was always a good writer in like school. My mom always told me, she was like, oh, you should be a writer one day. And I wasn't really much for like writing books or anything like that, but I love like writing poetry, and it ended up turning into me like writing raps and stuff like that. And I ended up working with I have a twin brother. I started doing music with him, and then my boy from middle school, which I consider like my brother Vernon. We were in the group together, and we were rapping pretty much since we were almost 12. So we've been doing this pretty much like 12, going on just about 10 years now. A little over 10 years, September, when I'm 23. So yeah, we've been doing music for about 12 years, and we started off in a group together. As obviously we grew up, and not saying that we grew apart as friends. I feel like my brother, whatever, but we just decided we all kind of, took different paths musically, and that's how my folk career pretty much started.
There you go. That's what's up. See, something else I didn't know. I didn't know you had a twin. So thank you for letting me know, because like if you guys both show up to an event, I'm like, yo, what's up, P.Fly? And homie's gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy?
My brother's from New York, but
yeah,
I told him I'd honestly come here for a show though.
Yeah, you never know. You might bring him down for a show. Maybe we'll do a show around like Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. And he came down for the holidays, and he's like, oh, come check me out at my show. So you never know.
That would be dope, man. I think I would love to do a show with him, and I would like to do a show with like there's a lot of people I like to do shows with, honestly. But definitely doing the show with my brother. We had together before when a few years ago, I opened up for A$AP Rocky, and I brought him out to do like 3 or 4 songs with me. We had a group mixtape coming out at the time that me and him did together. So it was really dope that we got to share a big of a stage with him, and him being my twin and stuff like that. So it was an awesome moment for like my family and all my friends who got to see both of us perform and stuff like that. And we did the whole twin thing with he wore like an all white outfit, I wore an all black outfit. So it was like a game kind of thing. Was cool.
There you go. That's what's up, man. And okay, so that's another question I'll ask you here in a little bit, like who you want to work with and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that in a little bit, man. So that's dope. You've been doing music for a while. Let's see, how long we been on the phone? I think it's time for us to play some music, man. So let's talk about, you recently came out with a new, what do you call it? 'Cause every artist has a different name for it, like an EP, album, mixtape. Like, depending who I'm talking to is depending on what they say. The Fly Trap. Tell us a little bit about the Fly Trap.
Yeah, so recently we just put out a big kind of, I don't want to call it a mixtape because I feel like, we put a lot of work into it, and it, calling it a mixtape doesn't really justify all the work that we, put in to make it. So I'm gonna call it an EP. We call it the EP Fly Trap. The free EP has 6 tracks on it. Basically pretty much almost borderline split down the middle. Half production comes from my producer SP, who I met out here at work. So shout out to my producer / DJ SP. And then the other half of production comes from a producer in New York named Jay Wiz. Those two together, I mean, those two, between those two, and I have another producer I work with named Fly Walker out from Mississippi. Between those 3 guys, pretty much, those are like my guys when I come to looking for sounds. But basically what happened was we did Fly Trap. The whole point of Fly Trap was to put out a turn-up mixtape or a turn-up, EP soundtrack that didn't have the conventional trapping type stuff. Like, I don't sell drugs, I don't shoot people. So we just decided to put something where people could turn up to, but still not have that. Not everybody, shoots guns and hangs out in the trap and sells drugs all day, but it's the influence of the trap that I captured with the tape, and I think we did a pretty good job of that.
That's what's up, man. That's dope as shit. One more question. So, okay, so that's the Fly Trap. I see where you're going with that, because it's not like your average. You see, I'm gonna go with it. I always have to add this part. It's not your average trap, right? Because it's like, you don't shoot people, you don't sell drugs. So that's how you go with the Fly Trap. I like that. How do you get the name P.Fly?
Well, that's super simple. When we decided to rebrand the group when we were younger, we decided to basically rebrand the group, and we came up with a different group name, and we all pretty much changed our name because the names we had when we were obviously rapping when we were 12 were obviously childish by the time we got to the time we were 17. So P.Fly basically just comes from my name. My name is Prince. That's like my birth name. And then we just added Fly to it because everybody always talks about how nice I dress and stuff like that. So it ended up being like P.Fly. So it's pretty much like Prince Fly, P.Fly. And that's kind of what I ran with at the time.
There you go. P.Fly, because his name, your name is Prince?
Yeah.
Like Prince.
That's my government name. It's on my ID, on everything.
That's what's up, man. I'm gonna have to talk to my parents, man. Like, why can't I get a cool ass name like Prince? Or like some other homie, he's a producer. I don't know if you know him. His name is King. Like he's the king of the palace. He's the king. And I was like, what's your name? He's like, no, that's my name. My name is King. Like, that's, he had to show me his ID, and his ID says King. I'm like, damn, that's dope. I gotta talk to my parents, man. I gotta sue him for giving me a fucked up name. But anyways, we'll go into some music. Okay, you told me to play Black and OGs off of your new EP, Fly Traps. So go ahead and introduce them, and as soon as you're done, I'll go ahead and play them, man. This is Not Your Average Radio. Let them know.
All right, man. So we're about to get into this first track off the EP called Black, produced by my producer / DJ SP. Shout out to him one time. The video for Black is actually coming really, really soon. I'm talking about so soon that you guys aren't even going to realize how fast it's coming. And the next track is called OGs, produced by Jay Wiz. So let's get into it.
About to black like I'm bad and shit. Tired of all of this acting shit. Tired of giving.
Not Your Average Radio. Big homie Monski. Mixbosses.com. I got the homie P.Fly still. What's up, brother?
We back in the building. What's up?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, we're over there chopping it. I always do this, man. I always get into intense conversations with the artists in between, while their tracks are playing. We're over here in the background just chopping it up. And I was like, oh shit. I totally cut off the homie P.Fly, man. I was like, we need to go back on. The track's almost over. So I do apologize for that, man, brother.
It's all good.
But anyways, man, yeah, I've already played I played a couple of tracks already on Not Your Average Radio because you had sent me the link to that like a week ago when it first dropped. So I already played a couple of them. So I'm feeling your music, man. Like, as always, the other music that you sent me before were dope as shit, and this is dope as shit too, man. So shout out to you, man, for putting in work and quality music, man. That's what's up.
Thank you. I mean, I try, my whole thing was my mom always told me whenever you do something, do it to the best of your ability. And to be honest, like, most people won't even really know this right now, but that whole Fly Chat mixtape was like recorded in my house. I recorded it in my apartment. Every single track on there.
There you go. People don't know that I do this out of my room. Everybody's like, oh shit, you know, the Monski.
You do the same thing.
Yeah.
Our house that.
It doesn't matter where you do it from, long as you play it off and you pretend that you're some badass. Like, you know, it's how you portray yourself, not how you do it. You know what I mean? Long as it sounds good and you act.
That's what fight tap is for.
Exactly, and you act like you own some big ass shit. You know, everybody thinks I work at Power 106 because just the way I carry myself. I'm like, yeah. Anyways, man.
You're plugged in Power 106.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
You need to give me a show over there.
I don't know. I got some stuff. I got some stuff in the works, man. But anyways, this is not about me. This is about P.Fly, man. So you could jump on to like a regular. You could co-host with me a day, and you could ask me questions. But this is about you, and I don't want to like stray away too much from the conversation, man. But even though I do enjoy you asking me questions, don't get me wrong. But this is about P.Fly, man.
Thank you. I mean, I would love to come co-host one day with you. I love, music, anything related to music, I'm down for anything. So that would be dope. We need to set that up one day.
Yeah, I already got the beers. You're like, hey, I'll go over and crack them open. Hey, I'm drinking right now as we speak, man. Shout out to my cup. That's what's up. Anyways, hey, I got more questions for you. So let's get back into the interview because this is a serious radio station and we have to keep a serious schedule. And everybody that's ever listened to Not Your Average Radio knows I'm bullshitting. But anyways, okay, so I got a question. I got a question. And this is kind of interesting. I didn't know half the stuff that you already told me, but now that I know, I like to ask the artists because, we like to talk about all our successes and everything that we do good. But I'm kind of curious, and now that I know that you came from New York and you moved down here just for your music and how everything has been going for you, I wonder what is your biggest difficulty that you overcame in your process of doing your music?
Man, I mean, the hardest part about, moving out here is, one, just moving away. Obviously, being a smaller artist, half my fan base, or the majority of my fan base is, based out of New York, just because that's where I grew up at. That's where, the majority of my shows prior to, coming out here were. Just trying to recreate that whole feeling of that home feeling, just coming out, rocking crowds and stuff like that, having that natural feeling it was just different coming out here, just coming out here with like literally on borderline nothing, didn't know anybody out here besides like maybe like one person when I moved out here, building enough people that actually want to come out to my shows, people that are interested in what I'm doing and stuff like that. It's pretty much like starting from scratch. So I would say that's the hardest part about it. Pretty much went through. And when I moved out here, just trying to build back the same similar kind of buzz I had in New York and getting my music out there to people out here.
Dope, man. That's what's up. Hey, I completely understand that. You know what I mean? Especially you moved across the whole country. So definitely feel that distance, I guess you can say. But you're doing your thing, man. I see you working, like I said, not only the rap contest where I met you with Young Baka and everything. So keep it up, man. You're doing a great job, man.
Thank you. I'm tired, man. I just want to be successful, like Drake said.
Yeah, you're doing good. And like I told the homie P.Fly, and I was speaking on this yesterday, and I really want to speak on it, since he's here. He wasn't tuned in last night, which we'll talk about that off the air. But anyways, he wasn't tuned in, so I got to give him props. You know what I mean? Like we talk about, the hip hop scene that we're involved in the LA area. Doing the rap contest, it's a contest. You know what I mean? You have 32 people that are in. You have one winner. You know what I mean? So, we've had a vote for people, we vote people that lose all the time. Not lose, but, obviously not continue in the competition. And they've been upset, like they storm out and they put their head down and they're very upset. And it's like, I don't feel bad for them because they're not true artists. You know what I mean? Because if you're a true artist, you have to grow, of course, especially at the level that we're at, in the underground hip hop scene. If you're Drake and you come to a show and I tell you suck and you get upset, okay, because, he's probably at the top of what we would call the pyramid of music artists. And he has a reason to be upset because look where he's at. Even though no matter where you're at, you can always grow, but he has an excuse. But people like where we're at, okay, fine. I didn't win. How can I get better? Or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? Like the homie P.Fly said a little bit ago, even though he didn't win, which he thought he should have, which is perfect. You should think you should win every contest because you should believe in yourself that much. But if you don't win,
absolutely.
You shouldn't be upset that you're going to go with your head down and just, kick rocks and, whatever. Because for real, because that upsets me because I'm like, obviously you're not a real artist. Obviously you're not, true to your craft, because if you are, find out why you lost. Like, what did you do that you could do better? And I'll tell you, I've done like 10 or 12 rap contests, and the only person that ever came up to me is the homie Brother Wilson. About 2-3 shows ago, he came up to me. He's like, "Man, I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you taking your time, this and this and that." He's like, "But can you tell me what I can improve on? You know, why do you think I didn't make it? What can I improve on?" And I was like, "Holy shit, like this is the first person that ever came up to me and asked me." And so I told him my advice or whatever. So the next week he was on the rap contest again and he won it. I'm not saying that I'm a professional, my advice is that good. I'm just saying. So anyways, my point of my story is that the homie P.Fly is one of those artists, you know what I mean? Like he still goes to shows, he still grinds, he's still doing his thing, even though he didn't win the rap contest. Not only that, the thing that really stuck out in my mind is that I went to, we were at We the West, one of the, for you guys that don't know, it's a big showcase of artists and stuff like that with Young Baka Productions. July 10th is the next one. Let me know if you guys are interested. Anyways, so, you know, we do the flyer and I was like, "Hey, P.Fly is not on the flyer." I'm like, "Why are you here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just here to support." And I was like, see, that we need more of that. You know, we need more of that people that just go to support, you know, not only themselves, but other artists and, you know, anybody else that's in the movement, man. So big shout out to you for that, brother, for real.
I mean, first of all, you never know who's going to be at these events. So it's always good to pop up and just, you know, show your face at some of the events, network, get to know some of the people, and try to catch some dope performances. Like, I mean, I love going to shows. I like playing music. If you're a genuine fan of music, then you should, like, enjoy going to concerts. I went out. I was like, you know, let's go see. I wasn't really doing anything else, so I was like, let's head out, let's see a concert, let's see if, you know, there's any good artists and network, say with some people, rub elbows and stuff like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Too many people try to stay in their cave and, you know, don't want to come support other people. Like, a lot of people, like, especially in New York, that's another reason why I love New York to death. You know, obviously I'm from New York, I live in New York, but the climate in New York is such a negative climate where people, if, like, you can go to a show, you can perform at a show. If it's not, you know, the person you came to see that's on stage, then they're not even gonna, you know, pretty much pay attention to what you're doing. And I've noticed that since I've been out here, like, even if, you know, let's say I came to see Joe, when Joe's on stage, I'm gonna clap for Joe, and whoever else is on stage, if I'm enjoying their performance, I'm gonna clap for them too. And people out here are very receptive to what they like, and if they like you, then, you know it when you get on stage, and you can't really tell that in New York. So, I mean, I love coming out to shows and just, you know, checking things out to see what it is.
There you go, man. That's dope as shit. See, I like this, man. I really do. So I do appreciate you jumping on, man. We're here with the homie P.Fly on Not Your Average Radio. If you guys are just tuning in, I see some people tuning in right now, man. So shout out to you guys that are tuning in, man. So yeah, we're just talking a little bit with trying to get to know the homie P.Fly. Shout out to the homie Savant. He's tuning in. He just texted me right now. That's what we do right here. We get to know artists. I've known the homie P.Fly for a while, and a lot of the stuff he's saying here is I didn't even know, you know. So it's really dope. You know what? I think it's time for us to get into some music real quick. We'll talk about one more thing before we get out of here on the interview. Cool. Is that cool with you?
Absolutely.
All right, give me 2 more tracks you want to play, brother, out for the Fly Trap.
Let's play Hum Day, because I feel like, you know, a lot of people sleep on that record. And let's play Houston Niggas, which happens to be my girlfriend's favorite track, featuring my fucking brother Shane Ham.
All right, there you go. Well, you kind of introduced them already, so let's go ahead and drop them, man. This is Hump Day and Houston.
Hump Day produced by my DJ and my producer SP again, and we're gonna jump into Houston Niggas, produced by Dan Vadney from Rochester or from upstate New York.
It's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the week.
Not Your Average Radio, big homie Monski, mixbosses.com. I got the homie P.Fly in the motherfucking building. What's up, homie?
Yes.
Kind of in the building. You guys don't know the difference. He wishes he was in the building because I got a couple 12 packs I copped the other day at Rite Aid, but that's what's up.
Yeah, I'm hating. I didn't get the invite. I really wanted some Modelo, and I was like, I seen her on Instagram posted it up, and I'm like, God damn, like, you gonna invite me over? We could have did this live and in person.
Hell yeah. Hey, this would be like a 4-hour interview if we were here chilling, just popping bottles, popping modelos, just drinking. Man, it was like a 4-hour interview. Like, oh man, what's up? Yeah, and the ending would probably be interesting.
That would be crazy. That would be super crazy.
Yeah, definitely, man. But we're talking offline, man. I'm working on doing live interviews, you know what I mean? And, I always keep the fridge stocked with modelos. So, we definitely got to do that as soon as I figure this shit out, man.
As soon as you figure it out, I have to be the first one, just because I'm pretty sure I'm the only person who mentioned the beer. So I have to be the first one to go.
There you go. All right. You heard it here first, man. Not Your Average Radio. P.Fly will be the first person to do live, whatever. We could do an interview. We could just bullshit live on the radio. It's all good, man. That's how we do.
Yes, Not Your Average. P.Fly, baby.
That's what's up. Anyways, man, sorry about that. We told you guys we're going to drop 2 tracks. I was like, that one was kind of long. So I'm like, let's just go back on real quick. Let's ask the homie P.Fly one more question, get some shout outs out there. And, we'll call it a night on the interview. And I got to play a couple more tracks after that. But anyways, so I got one more question for you. We talked about how you started. We talked about where you at right now. And, definitely, like I told you guys, July 10th at the Airliner, downtown LA, Young Baka Productions, We the West, P.Fly is going to be performing there too, man. So you don't want to miss that.
Yes, I will be there. I will be doing tracks off of Fly Trap, and I'll be doing some unreleased material. So shout out to Young Baka, shout out to you. I can't wait for July 10th. I've been rehearsing. That's another thing that I would like to, adjust really, really fast, that when I go to shows and stuff like that, and you can tell, like, people didn't rehearse and didn't put in the time to be on stage. It's one of my biggest pet peeves when people go to shows and don't really, look like they rehearse. When I book a show, we book out a rehearsal studio. We really, work really hard on putting the set together. We plan it literally down to the minute. Everything that you see on stage is not something that, we just said, hey, at the show today, all right, well, let's do this track, this track. I'll tell you where to cue it. Like, we literally plan it to where I'll say a key word and my DJ starts the track. And I mean, we really, really work hard at providing good shows and stuff like that. And I mean, it's good that people notice it, but I would like to see more people, put shows together and really take it super serious. Make it look like a, official concert. Like, even if the venues don't pack like 2,000 people, even if you're going to perform in front of like 100 people or 200 people, still focus on it, work on it like you're performing in front of 1,000. When I do a show, I feel like we're selling out Madison Square Garden. And not only is it good to do that, when you finally start to do those bigger shows and stuff like that, you'll be so used to rehearsing that way. It'll set you up for success in the future too. So just wanted to say that really quick.
There you go. There's my space. Sorry about that. I'm over here fucking networking. People are telling me they're tuned in. I'm like, hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Let's see here.
Shout out to everybody that's tuned in, man. Shout out to all my East Coast people too, because I know a few of my people stayed up late to tune in and watch this. So it's almost like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning on the East Coast. So shout out to everybody on the East Coast checking this out, man, for real.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's definitely right. And like you're saying, everything you're saying is the shit that I preach like every day, man. When I first started doing the radio on my online radio, obviously nobody knew, like one day I just started doing radio. Nobody knew about it because I just did. So I used to do this. No, not the interview. I didn't interview myself, but like I used to do the radio by myself. I play some tracks that I wanted to play, and then I would just be like, "Yo, man, it's Not Your Average Radio, Monski, da da da." I'll be talking to nobody. I'll be talking to just dead space. You know what I mean? And I did it exactly the way I did it now, because you have to practice the way you play. Just like the homie P.Fly is saying.
Exactly. I mean, that's another thing. I used to play sports, and that was constantly one of the biggest lessons you learn playing sports. Practice how you play. You're not gonna, play a game, the way you want to if you don't practice the same way. So that's life lessons, man. We're dropping gems right now on Not Your Average Radio.
And that's exactly what we do. I like to have fun. I like to bullshit. Me, I'm a goofball. But at the same time, I like to have some kind of, like you said, some knowledge, some gems, you know what I mean? I had the homegirl, Miss Allenette from Q1047. She was just dropping knowledge left and right. I was taking notes. I'm the host of Not Your Average Radio, and I was taking notes. And if you guys didn't know, I posted the first interview part one of hers on YouTube today. So if you want to check that out. Anyways, I just had to drop that real quick. So yeah, so she was just dropping knowledge and knowledge. So that's what it's about. Not only is we want to have a fun time, we want to, obviously promote your music and get more people to listen to you. But at the same time, learn your struggles, learn from my struggles, and just so we all become better together. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So anyways, we talked about where have you been. We talked about what you're doing right now with the Fly Trap, and you're going to be at the We the West on July 10th at the Airliner, and your difficulties about moving from New York to LA, which is dope as fuck, man. And we want to know, what is your future plans? You know what I mean? You've been doing so good already. What do you want to be doing in a year from now? Who do you want to work with? Stuff like that, brother.
I mean, I really, I just want to keep focused, obviously keep the music, great, keep doing that to the best of my ability. I really want to, do bigger shows and stuff like that. I would not say bigger shows, but I want to start doing, more shows more often. I want to, start, doing some bigger arenas and stuff like that. Start, getting my music out to some other states. I want to start, branching out and getting, music out across, like, nationally and stuff like that, or internationally, whichever one happens. But I just want people to, like, genuinely, organically gravitate towards the music and what's going on and stuff like that. I'm going to continue to work on my craft and keep making sure that, every project I release gets better and better. But I mean, that's all I really want to do. I mean, I just want to get better and just keep people that, has been in tune, keep them in tune, and have them just get more people in tune. And I just want to build, man. That's pretty much it. I can't, say exactly where I want to be at next year. I mean, but the surest thing I can say is I want to be 2 times better than where I was at right now. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's so many people I want to work with, but I think the time will come for that. When the time comes, it'll come, and I'll be excited to work with those people and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just gonna, work with, producers I've been working with SP, working with Fireworker, Jay Wiz, Gamma Genesis from Toronto and stuff like that. Keep working with the same people, keep building, working with the ex. I just want to, just build. That's pretty much it. That's the best way I can say it.
That's what's up. Again, like I told you, I have some questions written down, and I come up with questions as we go. Like I said, you've been to quite a bit of shows, performing, and you stay around to listen to other people. You've been to shows just to show up to the shows and network and stuff like that. Out of all the artists that you've come across, who do you think has caught your attention most? Like, I mean, like at a Young Baka show, at the rap contest shows, like who stands out, one artist?
Man, that is a really good question.
That's why I'm a radio host. I'm just kidding.
I see. I mean, I did this show in Anaheim at this place called the Doll Hut. It was like my first time there. And it was a dude named Cali Street. And I think he was really tight, and, he had a great live show. The song was super tight. And then he had a really great energy about him. I have his information and stuff like that. We networked and stuff like that. But he's definitely somebody that I really like since I've been out here, and I've been, sort of peeping what he's been doing out here and stuff like that. He's one of my local favorites. Besides that, I mean, I have some of the people that I really, really mess with musically, like, obviously my brother LJ, Shane Hamlet from New York. He was the only feature on my last 2 projects, actually. He was the only person I had featured on my last 2 projects. Well, I'm sure I'm gonna forget somebody, but HD, Shane Ham, LJ, my brother Vernon. Those are like, those are my guys. I look out for them, and they're doing some great things back home. So I'm excited to see what they have planned for this year as well.
There you go. That's what's up, man. That's dope. So again, man, I want to just thank you for dropping the knowledge, dropping just your personal life story with us, man. I really do appreciate that.
I mean, thanks for having me. I mean, this is like one of my first radio interviews. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how excited I was. Like, when we first started up, I couldn't get a smile on my face. And it was just, I mean, it's a blessing, honestly, to be where I'm at right now. It's a blessing to be, living in LA. The weather is beautiful. It's a blessing to, have shows and stuff, be able to perform and stuff like that. And, hopefully everything, just keeps continuing to go my way and stuff like that. And I really appreciate, the support that you show, that Kinky Eye in LA shows me, Baca shows me so much love. And there's a lot of people that show me love. I was actually, Slashy emailed me or text me a while back. They all show me, I mean, you guys show me so much love out here. I love it. I mean, I appreciate it, for real.
No doubt, man. So you got any shout outs? You already talked about, like people that have been showing you love, but give other people shout outs, or you already mentioned a bunch of people, so you got anybody else?
All right. First, shout out to my girl. She's sitting right here next to me while we're doing this. So shout out to her. Shout out to my big cousin, which is like my brother. Shout out Absolute. Shout out my twin brother LJ. Shout out AG, Shane Ham. Shout out my brother Vernon. Shout out to my mom. She's the biggest support on the planet. Like, I mean, when it comes to anything, she supports. Like, she was like, oh, like I told her I needed something for music, and she held me down when I couldn't do it. And before I moved out here, before I was like, working on studio time with my own, she would help me, pretty much book the studio time and stuff like that. So big shout out to my mom. Shout out to my godfather, Mr. Steve, my aunt, aka Miss Put Her in the Coffin. She'll hear this and she'll know exactly what it means. Shout out to my family. Shout out to everybody on the East Coast, and just shout out to everybody showing love to the music, man.
There you go. That's what's up, man. Hey, I gotta give a shout out to Mom too.
One more shout out.
Go.
One more shout out.
Hey.
I almost forgot it. Shout out to my man, Mark Giron from the Philippines. He's like literally like my number one fan. Whenever there's like new music, he's like the first person to share it. He works on, he has the group called the Shelter Boys. They're a film production group out in the Philippines. And they actually used a few of my tracks for some of their short films that have been nominated for a few awards out there. And I need to make sure I shout out them. Shout out to that whole crew in the Philippines. Shout out to the Shelter Boys. And I got to make a trip out to the Philippines one day to do a show and play some basketball with them, because we always talk about it.
Man, that's dope. That's really dope. Yeah, shout out to him. I saw him, he asked for the link, and you sent him the link. That's the guy, right?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
That's dope, man. Shout out to him in the Philippines. Hey, I like to give a shout out to moms, man, because she supported you. Not every mom is supportive, and, when people try to do something out of the box, instead of getting a 9-to-5 and going to college, that's really dope, man. So shout out to your mom, and shout out to your girl as well.
She supported me through all that. She supported me through college. I do have my degree. So shout out to, there's not too many rappers, that have the degree. So shout out to the fact that, I do have my degree, and shout out to my mom guiding me through school and making sure I did get that. But she's always been supportive. She supported me with anything I wanted to do, especially like, sometimes like I have hard times out here because, obviously you do have to work 9 to 5 being an independent artist for now, where money doesn't, isn't instantly generated from your music and stuff like that. So I do work, and my mom, she knows how much, it sucks for me to work, and I get to work, and it's like one day, like we went to San Fran, did a show out in San Fran. We drove out there for like a day. We drove out the night before the show. We stayed there during the day, drove back. And it's like, when I get to work, it's so hard to, you went from like being a superstar traveling on the road to get to a show to come back to work and like, have to put up with all the, 9 to 5 bullshit of work. And it's just like, sometimes it's like kind of like, I don't want to say depressing because I'm not really one of those people that get depressed about anything, but it just sucks. I mean, just come back, after having like such a thrill like that, just going back to like sort of feeling normal again. And it's like, it kind of sucks, especially when, your 9 to 5 isn't particularly what you want to do for the rest of your life, and you know what you want to do for the rest of your life. It seems like until you do it, it just sucks. And my mom will always like, don't worry about it. You're going to get to where you want to be at soon. Just keep working hard, keep doing what you're doing. And, and at the end of the day, I really do this for her because I want to be able to, move her out of East New York and buy her a really nice house out in Beverly Hills because I think she's like the view. So, I mean, I really do this for her. I do this for my family. I do this for my bros, Peter, Marcus, Jerome. I do this for all my family just to see them, I want to see my family do good. And so shout out to them too. Shout out to all my family. I can't get too many people today, but definitely shout out to my big brother Peter. That's my big brother right there for real.
Man, that's dope. That's a good ass story, man. Again, shout out to moms for that, man. And I think it's also important. Of course, your mom is very important, but I want to shout out to your girl as well, man, because it's not easy being with somebody that's an independent rapper or anything. Even myself as a radio host, you know what I mean? Like, it's not easy because you just doing so many things, and I have a 9 to 5 job too, and then I know, and then I come onto the radio, and then I go do the shows with Young Baka, with the rap contest, all the shows that we do. So it's not easy being there, you know what I mean? So shout out to her for moving from New York to LA and giving you that continuous support. I always see you guys together, so that's real dope, man. Shout out to her as well.
Yeah, man, she's definitely like one of my biggest, support systems too. She's one of my biggest supporters. She even helps me out, like, do some of my music stuff. Like, most people don't know this. There's like a handful of people know this, but she helps me with the harmonies on Hump Day. So she has a little bit of vocal talent. I mean, I don't think she, bust out a tap on her own or anything like that, but, she assisted me with the harmonies for Hump Day. She helped me, actually, she did the camera work for the video that we're going to put out pretty soon, the Black video. And she's actually videotaping this right now because she's a creep like that. But, shout out to her. I love her to death, man. That's gonna be my wife one day, and so shout out to her too. She's the top 5. She's top 5 most important women in my life.
There you go, man. That's what's up. That's dope, man. I gotta give a fucking. I'm clapping my hands, man, for fucking. You're such a cool dude, man. You're such a cool dude, humbled, very talented, and you keep that up, man. I swear. I hope you remember the little homies that helped you out in LA when you came over here, man. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna bring you guys with me. I tell everybody I'm super big on supporting people who support me, and I hate to think of the fact that one day that's like, there's so many people that, get bigger than what they are and, let things change them and stuff like that. And I always tell myself, like, you hear, like, oh, I opened up for, I'm not going to say this rapper's name, but I opened up for a particular famous rapper and, he showed up. He was supposed to show up at, like, 8 o'clock for a sound check. It was, like, mandated in his contract that nobody else could have a sound check until he did his. He showed up, the show was supposed to start at like 9. He shows up at like 8:50, so no one else gets contact. And I always tell myself that when I get bigger, I always want to be one of those people that show up on time. I say I'm gonna show up for this. I'm gonna be there. Try to be there early as possible. Some things are out of your hands. Being just like with the schedule of being that big. Some things you can't control, but as far as everything goes, I want to be. My mom raised me to be punctual. My mom and my dad raised me to be punctual, be a punctual person. So being on time is something that's big to me, and never forgetting where you came from is big to me. I mean, I grew up in East New York. I grew up in one of the worst neighborhoods in the world. My high school was, had to be top 5 worst high schools in Brooklyn, New York. I graduated, third of my class and ended up going to school. So I mean, just those little things, that I've learned along the way. I mean, I want to, stay the same person. I don't ever want to be, I'm never going to be too big to stop and take a picture or chill or come to an independent show or anything like that. Like, if I have the time for it, then, I'm going to do it. And I appreciate the people that, help me and that is helping me get to where I want to be at. And, I never forget stuff like that either. So I can still tell you about the bully who picked on me in 1st grade. So I don't forget things.
That's what's up. All right, so next time I see you, I have to bully you. Maybe that's like, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna like shake you. I'm like, hey, this way you don't forget about me.
I can tell you that I haven't been bullied in years. The whole 1st grade thing was, it was a funny story. I don't know if you have time to get into it, but it was a really funny story. Maybe I'll tell you that off the air. But it was a funny story, and, that was the last time that I was ever, like, picked on or anything like that. So, if you put that aside, you got to remember I did grow up in East New York. So,
nah, I'm messing with you. And you're a pretty stocky dude, man, so I'm just fucking with you. No, hey, we're gonna leave that story for the next time for the first official P.Fly Not Your Average Radio whatever fiesta. We'll call it a fiesta. So we crack open the modelos, and I'm not gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget. I'm gonna ask you about the bully, man. So we'll do that.
All right, I mean, I'm down. I mean, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I had a great time. I'm laughing right now. I can't even hide how happy I am right now.
Well, I appreciate that. That's what I like, man. I like that you guys are excited to jump on the interview, and I know I'm gonna see you on July 10th at We the West. Everybody that's tuned in the LA area, make sure you go to Young Baka Productions We the West at the Airliner on July 10th. Myself, I host the bottom stage. The homie P.Fly is gonna be performing there too, and a bunch of other dope ass artists, man. So you don't want to miss that.
Yeah,
Again,
you already know we about to kill. July 10th, when I say we really about to have a good show. Like, we've been planning this for like the last couple of weeks. We're about to kill this shit. That's all I'm gonna say. We're about to kill this shit for real.
there you go, man. Hey, hold on real quick. I gotta see. What stage are you on? You're on the top stage, huh?
I'm on the second floor stage.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I got my stage is the bottom stage. I host it. So hopefully I'm gonna make it up to your show. I'm gonna make it up to the show.
You have to make it upstairs to that second stage because it's about to be a party up there. We're about to party. You know, we might take some shots on stage. We're gonna turn out. It's gonna be a good time.
That's what's up, man. So definitely looking forward to that shit, man. Again, thank you so much, man, for blessing us with an interview, with blessing us with your story and the knowledge that you have, you know. And of course, you and I are gonna stay in touch, man. And we definitely got to do the
I'm gonna see you Thursday. I'm gonna see you on Thursday.
Oh, that's right. We're just talking about that. He's going to see me on Thursday at Thursdays at PD's Place in Tarzana, another Young Baka production event. That's what's up, man. That's dope. So definitely.
Yeah, everybody come on. Everybody come on Thursday. Come to PD's Place on Thursday in Tarzana. It's on Rosita Boulevard. It's like right past like Sherman Oak. Come down. We gonna have a few drinks. I'll be there. And we can all just meet. We gonna have a party on Thursday. Come down, say what's up.
Hey, the homie P.Fly is right there, man. We got the stage right there. We might just have to put some mics up and get the homie P.Fly to perform. But you never know. Shit, it's not your average
I'm always
shit.
down. We're gonna give you a not so average performance, and we're gonna do it big. We're gonna do it. I'm down.
Yes. Again, this is a Young Baka production show. I don't want the homie Young Baka to be like, "Oh, you're taking over my show." But we do not your average shit. So that's what's up.
You already know.
That's what's up. All right, man. Thanks again for tuning in to or jumping onto the interview. I'm gonna play that Houston track on your way out. And again, we'll stay in touch, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. Peace and love, my brother.